What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, I think's
sir.
over there. Wave
Yes,
to the people,
sir.
Coach. Austin's over there. We appreciate you guys stepping in. Subscribe down below. Every 500 subscribers, we're giving away a jersey out here. Help us, help you. We got the New York Jets record prediction today. You know, we're doing the AFC East, but as Dolphins fans, we're not going to allow that to, vague our side on this. We're going to be honest. I'll be just as brutally honest with the Dolphins whenever that episode drops.
Agreed. But I was pretty brutally honest with this record prediction.
I actually came out with a better record for them than I expected, but yeah, we'll get into that for sure. Looking at the Jets right now, the big move that they made, obviously, they brought in Justin Fields after losing Aaron Rodgers, which the Aaron Rodgers project that just did not work out the way they expected it for him. I like the Justin Fields move. Like I like them trying to give him a chance. You know, I'm hoping, even as a fan of Fields, just to see like that Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield resurgence, like a new coaching staff, a new scheme, just overall new environment completely outside of, what Pittsburgh did. I liked how he played for Pittsburgh. Like I thought it was kind of dirty that when Russell Wilson was healthy, he just automatically got to come in. I don't think the Steelers looked that much better with Russell in there.
Yeah.
And then with Aaron Glenn coming in, I really like that move for him. I think he's going to bring the kind of culture and environment that you want as far as I'm not playing no fucking games. Like, do your damn job and let's win some games out here. And then I also like them bringing in Tanner Engstrand. Yeah. From Detroit. He was the passing game coordinator over there underneath Ben Johnson. So him being over there, learning from Ben Johnson, him and Aaron Glenn have that relationship coming over as well. Also, they got their new GM with Darren Moogie. So just whole new regime for the Jets out here. I think it is going to be a bit of a struggle for them, but I went through my list here, and I actually had them with a better record than I expected coming in. Going through their draft picks real quick. First round pick, Armand Membu. Love that, especially because they took Olu Fashanu last year. Their offensive line is young and ready to go.
Yep.
Mason Taylor at tight end in the second round. Coach, I know you love that pick.
Absolutely.
Azareye'h Thomas, the cornerback from Florida State. I like him as far as a guy that can give you somebody on the other side of Sauce. Like I think losing DJ Reed, they needed to address that. Arian Smith in the fourth round at wide receiver, like they had 2 fourth-round picks, so I get throwing a dart at him. He just has blazing speed, like gives me McCole Hardman vibes. Malachi Moore, DB from Alabama, love that. Francisco Mauigoa, from the linebacker from Miami, love that pick. And then Tyler Barron, the defensive end from Miami. So I like what the Jets did as far as their draft class as a whole. Let's go ahead and go into it, guys.
So
First
couple things.
Yeah.
One of my big issues, I think that instead of throwing that dart in the fourth round, Alec Eomanor was still available. I think that taking
agreed.
him at that point would have been huge. I think he could be a true number one in a lot of teams, but with a Garrett Wilson on the other side, he would be a phenomenal complement.
Yes.
Adding Zach Taylor, though, is going to help the passing game. It's going to help some of the running game. Membu makes their line very young, especially with having people like Vera Tucker that they took a couple years back. In general, the core of their offensive line is very good. My big issue is honestly, I feel as Fields is more of a runner than a passer. And even though they don't have a lot of passing weapons in general, I think that if they get behind, they're going to have a hard time keeping up in games. Their defense isn't elite, which is why Aaron Glenn is there. I honestly think that this team is super built for after this season, them drafting their quarterback of the future next year and having an offense that's already just plug a quarterback in there that can make good decisions, be accurate with the ball down the field, and they should have success.
You're giving no respect to Fields' development.
He hasn't
over the years
deemed any respect for me. I mean, Chicago
last year was better than the year before for him.
A little bit, but like
he played a lot better, safer.
Yeah,
he's
as
now
a
26
passer,
years old
he still hasn't given you any glimpses of like development. Like as a passer, he generally kind of looks like what he did his first 2 seasons in the league.
Quick question
So
for
I
you,
do see,
Austin.
but I do think they are going to lean on the run game heavy with Aaron Glenn.
Oh
Bo
yeah,
Nix
they have to.
or Justin Fields? Who would you rather have?
Bo Nix, he's
Bo Nix is
established.
24.
I mean,
He's 24
yeah,
years
but
old.
but
That's
but
my
I mean,
whole
his
point,
play
is, like-
style is like Justin Herbert-esque. Like he plays just like him.
I mean, as
He
a
runs a
passer
little bit more,
right now,
but-
I'd rather have Bo Nix. I'd rather have a lot of these 25-year-old guys coming out of the draft than a 26-year-old Justin
Would you
Fields.
rather have Will Howard?
I don't know how old Will Howard
But
is.
see, I will say on the flip side of what you just said is you can also look at it as Justin Fields is only 26.
yeah, but
Like,
now
because you
he's
do have guys coming out of the draft that are 24, 25 years old. Fields has gotten 4 or 5 seasons into the league now with that experience, and he's still only 26.
he's at his
So-
athletic prime right now. He's
Mhm.
only going to become less and less athletic, which is what he's relied on most of his career, his whole career. So that's my whole issue with him, right? A CJ Stroud comes out, he's got enough athleticism, but he can dart you up at 22 years old. That guy's going to
I
develop.
thought the Jets should have taken Fields instead of Zach Wilson in the draft. Like, to me, this is just full circle for them.
Yeah,
and like I
that's
said,
hilarious.
I'm just hoping for like a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold type of resurgence. Just
Yeah.
like give us something to where when you do move on from the Jets, you actually have a second half of your career. Let's
But-
go ahead and
yeah.
dive into it. Week 1, they stay home versus Pittsburgh. Little, revenge game there
There
for
we
Justin
go.
Fields in week 1. Week 2, they stay home again for Buffalo. Week 3, they're at Tampa Bay. And week 4, they're at Miami. I have them going 1-3 in that stretch.
You have
I
him
have
beating
them
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh week 1 because we do not know who their quarterback is right now. And if it is Aaron Rodgers in New York, I don't know,
maybe
man.
not.
I think he's playing severely uphill in that game. So week 1, I've got him taking that, but dropping the next 3.
Yeah, that's easy work right there.
You agree, Austin?
I don't really see that going any other way.
I see 0-4.
Maybe a tough one against Miami. I don't know how y'all are gonna look coming out the gate.
I mean, we are third year in our system, mostly the same
Like-
offense that we were last year.
Should
And Pittsburgh, outside of their quarterback and their running back, who, in my opinion, was an upgrade, is relatively the same. I mean, I guess they're really not. Pittsburgh's a completely different team. For me, though, it's Tomlin versus Eric Glenn. Aaron Glenn is first offseason, first time trying to install new packages, getting his team to buy in. It's going to be a tough uphill battle for the Jets because of where they play and what the expectations are. They're going to have a little bit of adversity, and I think that they're going to crumble. I think Pittsburgh can walk away with a victory, even with everything in front of them, because Tomlin just doesn't lose close games. He's too difficult to play.
Is there any chance of them getting Aaron Rodgers still?
I
don't
don't even
think
know
so.
if Aaron Rodgers matters that much.
No, I agree.
Like
I
like
don't
at
think they
this
let
point,
Pickens go if they're going for Aaron Rodgers. Like if you're going for a let's win this year, then you don't let George Pickens go. You don't add DK Metcalf early in the offseason if you're not going for Aaron Rodgers, but once you're I don't know, not really making those plays anymore, it just seems like Aaron's not going to happen. They're going to be playing with either Will Howard or getting Kirk Cousins. Like that would make some sense. I just
That-
don't think they're going to do that.
No, that would be tremendous for them, and
For right
I
now,
could see
I
them
don't
beating
think-
the Jets if they did that.
Yeah.
So that would change one.
all right. So the next 4, we've got at home versus Dallas, at home versus Denver, but that they're listed as the home team. That is overseas, 9:30 in the morning. At home again versus Carolina, and then on the road versus Cincinnati. I have them going 1-3 in that stretch. I have them taking week 7 over Carolina. Fellas.
Yeah, Carolina. That's about it.
So I gave Carolina the victory for that one whenever we did our Carolina video a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to stick with that. I also think that Carolina is going to be a more developed team at this point. They have a better offensive line. Their defense got a lot better. They are also year 2 in their system. I feel like year 1 in the system is going to be something I say a lot. But a new head coach coming in, it generally takes a team a little while before they're hitting on all cylinders. And by week 7, I don't think that they're there. I don't think that they're just going to get any easy victories at all before the bye week. So I have them going 0-8 through the bye. And then did we? Yeah. So 0-8.
That's rough. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think they get Carolina, so I would say 2-6 going into bye.
Yep, that's what I've got them at right now. So next 4. Home versus Cleveland, on the road versus New England, on the road versus Baltimore, at home versus Atlanta. I have them going 1-3 in that stretch again. I have them taking week 11 at New England. Fellas.
That's a tough stretch again. You were saying it before.
Yeah, they don't have any.
Maybe again. So against Cleveland, that's an interesting one.
I've got them winning versus Cleveland, especially at home. I think that Cleveland is a bit of a shit show this year as well. They have Stefanski still, and by this point they will have their quarterback figured out. But with all the unknowns coming out, with them losing a bunch of wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy's now one of their best receiving options. They added some running backs, but they kind of added 2 of them, which makes me question the whole decision making there on how they're building their team. Like Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson, whenever you've already got Jerome Ford, like you already had some other pieces there as well.
That tells me they're going to try to run the ball like 40 times a game.
And play good defense.
And just hope Joe Flacco can stay healthy.
Yeah. I think Cleveland could lose that game. I have them winning week 10. And then I have them losing at New England, especially at Baltimore, and then versus Atlanta. When we did our Atlanta episode, I gave Atlanta the W. So I have them going 1-3 here.
Hey, you gave them a victory. That's what we like to see.
I don't hate. I'm not trying to hate on them. Whenever you look at their defense specifically, like their offense is going to have troubles because of the quarterback position. Their defense is not strong. They have one good corner. They really don't have much of a defensive line. Their linebacking core is decent, and they have an okay safeties. So I feel like teams are going to be able to throw on them. So like if they go up, then teams are going to be able to come back on them pretty easily. And if they go down, they're not going to be able to stop the run. They're not going to be able to like just ground and pound people into victory. I think that Hall is going to have a way better season than he did last year. Breece Hall should have a resurgence this year, especially if he stays healthy. But I think
Braylon
Allen. I think that in general, their running backs are going to be good from a fantasy perspective.
Well, you got to look at their offensive coordinator coming over from Detroit. Like he saw what it was like to have number 1 wide receiver, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, a really reliable tight end. I almost said Hawkinson, but it's Laporta. And then now they got Mason Taylor. And then you've got a 2-headed monster at running back. And so, yeah, I think they are going to try to develop a lot in that light. Last 5 games for them. Home versus Miami, at Jacksonville, at New Orleans, versus New England, at Buffalo. I've got them actually going 3-2 in that stretch. I have them beating Miami at the end of the year. I think we end up splitting with the Jets. I have them beating Jacksonville and New Orleans, but then dropping the last 2 versus New England and Buffalo. So a nice little win streak to take you to 6-11 for the year. But, little momentum going into next season.
So
I'll give them 4 wins. 1 more against New Orleans, and that's about it. Jacksonville is going to be tough. New England's going to be tough. Buffalo's you're no chance.
No, not on the road.
Miami is the one I would give them. So it'd be 5 games, but I'm gonna stick with 4 for the Jets. Typical Jets season.
So I'm going to give them a 2-15 record. For those keeping count, that means that they do get one more win. And for those that watched the New Orleans episode, I think New Orleans is a much bigger shit show. But Cleveland and New Orleans are the only teams that, like, just looking at them on paper, they're going to be able to just walk away with a victory. Even though they're at New Orleans, I think that they're going to be able to beat New Orleans. I think that New Orleans is that bad. I only gave them one victory versus Carolina in New Orleans week 15. So
I still might not even get that.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I could be
With
wrong with that, and they could lose every game.
With T-Mac out there.
But yeah, I think that the Jets are a bottom 4 team right now in the league. I think 2-15 record is about what we could expect from them. I think that there's definitely some games that they could squeeze out that I gave them losses for, but it's going to take situations that we don't know of yet. Players being hurt, quarterbacks getting injured, major pieces in the offensive line going down. Things like that can affect the record more than what I've given them credit for. But going into the season right now, as things stay, if they stay that way, I think that the Jets are only better than maybe Cleveland, New Orleans, and I could maybe give them a victory versus the Giants. But I don't think so. I think the Giants' quarterback play is going to be much better than the Jets.
Depending on who's starting.
I think J-Mo.
All right, so we've got 2-15 from
Jets.
Coach, 4-13 from Austin. I've got y'all at 6-11. Jets fans, I know you're going to hammer on us. You're going to be, oh, you Dolphins fans, y'all are idiots. Y'all aren't going to do much better. You're right. We're probably not, and you'll see that when that episode drops. Make sure to tune in for it. If you subscribe down below, you'll get a nice little notification on your phone. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. We really appreciate y'all for sticking around. Peace out.
Peace out.